people like the President of the United States and this next gentleman that you're going to hear from, Congressman Darrell Issa from California, have to somehow come together. And if anybody can figure out a way to do this, it's probably Darrell Issa. He and I talked earlier about this, and he is suggesting that there's a possibility that there may be some middle ground. Because the sticking point here, Congressman, are you with us?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me back on.
Here's the sticking point, and you know it, and I know it, and everybody watching this newscast knows it. Here's the sticking point. If there's a possibility that if we enact new legislation on comprehensive immigration reform in this country, and one person who's in this country illegally is allowed to stay, then a lot of people on the right will scream at you and say, hey, Darrell Issa, we're not going to back you on this, because that's amnesty. How do we get beyond that hurdle?
Well, Rick, I think the important thing is that the argument for so many years, rightfully so, is there are jobs in America, certain jobs that are excess to Americans. Sometimes agricultural jobs are the easiest ones for the American public to understand, picking strawberries and tomatoes. Whatever that amount of jobs are, if we provide a sensible guest worker program, and then we open it up to the most qualified, which often the employers who have illegals now would certainly, if the illegal walks in the day after we pass law and says, look, you didn't know I was illegal, but I was. I'd like to apply for that slot. Who do you think they're going to recommend? Of course they're going to do it. Now, there may be 3 million slots for 4 million workers that are here illegally. That's certainly a problem. We're not going to keep people that don't have jobs. But the fact is, the first solution that the president needs to come forward with is we're going to fix the broken system of people who have jobs that are not getting filled, that they can justify they need to have additional workers. You do that, by definition, you dramatically reduce the problem, both for the people who are here illegally and for their families.
But let me push you, Congressman. Let me push you. Because if this administration is not wise enough to be listening to you right now and see an opening, I hope someone at the White House is watching Rick's List right now, and I hope they say, did we just hear Darrell Issa, Republican, say that he's willing to find a way that may include the eventuality of some people who are in this country having some kind of path to residency through some kind of work program that allows them to stay in the country. That is the first beginning, the first opening that I've heard from the Republican side since George W. Bush and John McCain backed comprehensive immigration reform. Am I reading you right?
Well, you are, but I will tell you, when they were backing comprehensive reform, John Shattuck and other Republicans were back and forth, and myself included, to the White House saying, look, amnesty is something we've got to get past. Let's find real ways to deal with people who could remain here, or quite frankly, people who we could say, you know what, we'll give you an opportunity to apply for a guest worker program, but if you can't find a job right now, you can go back to your country, but not be prejudiced against coming back on a guest worker program in the future.
But
many people, those kinds of solutions allow people to hope to have the jobs when they're available.
I get it.
But they may be available in the future in bigger numbers.
And if these people have committed crimes while they've been here, or they're not in good standing in any way, or are the type of people that we don't want here based on their actions and their behavior, kick their butts out tomorrow. That's what most people in this country, whether they're legal, illegal, or immigrants, or Hispanic, or whatever they come from, would say. The question is, can you, Darrell Issa, this is a serious question of a serious man, can you, Darrell Issa, stand up to the guys, the screaming parts of the right on talk radio who are going to say to you that you're a traitor for agreeing to allow anyone who's in this country illegally to have some kind of path to residency?
I believe that many of us can stand up. Obviously, we've said for a long time, we don't want to have it be amnesty in the sense that people get to be permanent residents and citizens simply because they were already here illegally.
I get that.
But when it comes to people doing jobs that are available, doing them honestly, doing them above board, the fact is the vast majority of the people that we don't even know are here illegally are doing just that. They can come out of the closet. We can provide a system for them. If they get laid off and they can't find a job, we can even provide an ability for them to return to their country, and when a job becomes available, come back. That's how effective guest worker programs can solve most, not all, but most of these problems. And we first got to start solving as many problems as we can, as soon as we can.
I get that. Congressman Darrell Issa, who is agreeing in many ways with people like Jeb Bush in Florida, who's come out with similar proposals, but they're few and far between in the Republican Party. This is